Nobody in 1965 thought that there would be a 33-acre organic farm here hosting thousands of people every year.
Because we've been here for so long and the land really has been so successful in demonstrating some of the principles and practices, we've been able to bring in so many different groups and organizations that when I first got here as staff, I was blown away by how many people visit the farm each and every day.
We have an opportunity to educate individuals from around the country and around the world on organic and sustainable farming and gardening practices, knowing that they take that back to where they come from.
The garden is the original site. That's the place that Alan Chadwick, along with students and Paul Lee and others, selected, and they picked a challenging site.
Probably the biogeographic center in North America for poison oak, so it was really a difficult slope. But the genius of the place was its due south-facing orientation, its warmer microclimate. And Chadwick, being the dramatist, wanted to make a statement. You can do this with skilled labor and good practices.
Chadwick took this as a matter of his free-spirited personality. He went out and bought his own spade downtown, and he picked out the slope right here and started to dig. And everybody went, who the hell is that? And who gave him permission? Where'd he get the spade? So anyhow, he just went at it.
Dean McHenry himself was a Lompoc farm boy, and he had a respect for and understood the agricultural lifestyle.
Once in a while, the chancellor would get some criticism about Alan. My favorite one is when they criticized Alan for planting by the moon. How are you handling a cult on your own campus? The chancellor said, my father was a farmer and he planted by the moon. That shut them up.
He was a riveting personality. He had one foot in the theater, drama, and one foot in horticulture, world-class horticulturalist. And he fused the two together and taught in a way that was very oral and demonstrative.
I think one of the finest things he represented was a sacramental relation to nature. Alan, in effect, worshiped nature, and he transmitted that to the students just in the moment when they needed that.
If you're here during the crepuscular hours, the dawn and dusk hours, when the birds are out chirping, and you were to walk through just before the main slope when there's citrus on both sides and they're in bloom, you get this overwhelming fragrance of citrus walking through the garden. That's something that I'll keep with me for my whole life.
So that was the original site, but in the early 1970s, the students wanted to take their show onto a larger space. They wanted to go from gardening to farming. Chancellor McHenry said, well, you can have 17 acres down here on the meadow. And they got a couple of draft horses to do the plowing, and they made a go of it.
I was attracted to this work because it's simultaneously I get to use my hands, use my body, I get to be outside and be very physical, but I also get to be very analytical. I get to use my mind as well, and I think that's what really draws so many people to farming.
The students just get so much out of their experience here. You can see the joy in their face when they're leaving here, covered in soil, going off to their next class.
What's unique about UCSC in the case of the farming garden is that honoring and balancing of two modalities, the apprentice style and the scholastic model. We have a phrase, we say, we teach the teachers, we train the trainers.
We work with undergraduates and we have kind of a student farm. We also work with folks that have graduated from university in our apprenticeship program and are maybe beginning farmers and gardeners. We also do university high-level academic research. We also work with the community. We also partner with organizations to work with K-8 and high school age youth that are interested in engaging with sustainable agriculture.
It's that steady stream of people coming through here that I find inspirational, that and the fruit.
The farm and garden really was at the nexus, the genesis of starting this movement in this country.
In the first 50 years, we came a long way from beautiful, eccentric oddity up by Merrill College to a world-class model of sustainable agriculture.
We're celebrating 50 years this year. But in many ways, I feel like right now, the farm has just as much potential as it did when it first got going. And the reason is that the conversation has moved so far, and we want to keep moving it further.
I can't think of not farming now. My purpose is with the ground and with everything that comes out of it. I want to share the joy of what farming and gardening is.